This is from a previous video and has been about the best I can get at 75 yards with this ammo, but I have tightened up my headspace with a bolt shim. It's 1,000th tighter now, and I'm going to see what difference that made. So I will shoot another 6 5-shot groups at 75 yards, combine them, and see how that compares. Well, if you watch my videos, you know I try not to get distracted by these really good 3 and 5-shot groups, but this kind of stuff still makes me swear. I accidentally shot 6 shots here, which left only 4 shots for the final target. I'm going to point this out every time I see it, or until people stop calling everything they don't like flyers. Remember on that previous target, I accidentally shot 6 shots at one target, which left only 4 for here. But had I shot that 6th shot here, it would have went right in the middle and connected this group. It's not a flyer. No, I didn't show the cold bore shots here, but I raised my scope 2/10 after that, and then I left it the same for all of the 6 5-shot groups. But as I was looking at them, I noticed everything hit just slightly left of center. So I adjusted my scope to the right 1/10, and then I thought I'd just try to hit the corners of this last target. So that's a pretty good 0, and I have 1 bullet left. I'll put it right in the middle of that D. Okay, so maybe not, but that would have been pretty cool if I had. Now let's take a look at the velocity on these shots. That highest shot, that was the fastest shot at 1114 feet per second. And this shot that hit the lowest was also the slowest at 1068. So in this 30-shot group, there's really only 4 shots that I don't like, those 2 that are high and those 2 that are low. The 2 that are high are part of the 4 fastest shots, and the 2 that are low are part of the 4 slowest shots, so there seems to be a connection, but those other outliers went right into the middle of the group, so it doesn't explain it completely. And I also want to mention, these are off by about 20 to 25 feet per second, and a ballistic calculator shows that that would only move them about 100 thousandths of an inch, so less than 1/8 of an inch would they hit high or low. And here's the extreme spread for each individual 5-shot group, and it really didn't go the way that I wanted it to, because that group in the bottom middle, that was the worst group, but the extreme spread was about average. So I don't know what to say for this. I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt to have a good extreme spread, but it's not the whole story. And again, this is just at 75 yards, so the farther you go, the worse that extreme spread's going to make your groups. So the group size is definitely worse, but the mean radius is better, so how do you choose? Or is it even different? It's so close to the same, maybe there really is no difference. I went in and added a 1/2-inch square there on each target, and you can see that 25 of the 30 would have hit in that square, or hit that square anyway. So that's 83% of them that hit within a 1/2 inch at 75 yards. So that's good, but those others are far enough out that definitely would have missed. So I've been shooting this same lot of SK long range match now for a while. I bought quite a bit of it. And it seems like my extreme spread and standard deviation is slowly getting worse. And that got me thinking about why that might be. For match grade ammo, when you've got an extreme spread of about 50 and a standard deviation right around 14, that kind of sucks. I've ran over 500 rounds of this same lot through my chronograph, and my standard deviation would average about 10. So This could just be that I happen to get some of the worst stuff at the same time, or there's something more going on. I'd heard guys talking about replacing their firing pin spring. I know Wooden Gun Works sells them. I'm sure all kinds of places sell them and recommend them. But I happen to have a newer CZ, so this firing pin spring's got under 500 rounds on it. So I decided to swap that out and see if that would make any difference. Something I could try for free. So the different firing pin spring did make a difference. It made it better, but I'm not convinced that this will hold up long term. What do you think? I know I should have shot the exact same target, but I need some excitement in my life, so I decided to do it this way, but I still combined them into 30 shots, and we'll see how this compares. You can probably already tell it's about the same. So if you just look at the group size, the tighter headspace and the new spring both got a little bit worse. The tighter headspace did have the lowest mean radius, and the new spring did have the lowest extreme spread and standard deviation. But I kind of think this is all just noise, that my gun is going to shoot this ammo about 1.125 inches. Some days a little bit better, some days a little bit worse. I think you have to shoot so many rounds to ever have a definitive winner that it's almost pointless. This makes me think of a recent video that I watched, and the guy was testing torque spec for your action screws, and he would adjust it and shoot a 5-shot group, and then adjust it again and shoot another 5-shot group, trying to determine the optimal torque spec. And I would never tell a guy that he's wasting his time when he's shooting, because I assume we all like to shoot, but I don't think, well, I know you're just not learning anything from 5-shot groups. And if you don't believe me, go shoot your 5-shot groups. Are they always the same? Are they even close to the same? And I know that they're not. I've done this too many times. So this testing cost me about $30 worth of ammunition, and I'm not sure that I learned anything. I really think if you're trying to get to be a better shooter, the most bang for your buck is just shoot in the wind. That's the biggest factor. It always keeps coming back to that. Shoot in the wind. I'm lucky because I live in Oklahoma and have the opportunity to practice in tornadoes. The only thing that worries me is, could a tornado catch that bullet and spin it right back into my face? Not sure. Keep your eye on the news. Cut rate YouTuber shoots a tornado and ends up dead.